On count 1 of involuntary manslaughter as to Madison Baldwin, we find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter. On count 2 of involuntary manslaughter in regards to Tate Muir, we find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter. On count 3, as to involuntary manslaughter regarding Hannah St. Juliana, we find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter. And in count 4 of involuntary manslaughter against Justin Schilling, we find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Thank you, Forewoman. You can be seated. And I'm going to close all the jury.
Today, we are going to discuss the Jennifer Crumbley verdict. Jennifer Crumbley, the mother of Ethan Crumbley, was found guilty on all 4 counts related to the Oxford High School shooting. She was charged with involuntary manslaughter for buying the gun used in the shooting and failing to secure it. The prosecutors argued that she played a role in the tragedy by ignoring warning signs and not taking appropriate action. This verdict sends a powerful message about accountability and responsibility in cases of gun violence. It serves as a reminder that adults can be held accountable for their actions, especially when they contribute to such tragic events. The sentencing phase will determine the consequences Jennifer Crumbley will face for her involvement in the shooting. This case highlights the importance of gun safety and the need for responsible gun ownership. There's lots to discuss here. At the end of this video, let me know what you think in the comments section. Here we go. In a groundbreaking verdict, Jennifer Crumbley has become the first parent in the United States to be convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The heart-wrenching incident occurred when her teenage son, Ethan, unleashed a mass shooting at Oxford High School in Michigan on November 30th, 2021. Tragically, 4 innocent students lost their lives and 7 others were left injured. As the sentencing approaches in April, Crumbley could face a maximum of 15 years behind bars. Prosecutors argued that she was well aware of her son's distressing mental health struggles. Yet instead of seeking help, she and her husband James purchased the firearm used in the attack. Shockingly, the couple even attempted to flee when it seemed likely they would face charges. James Crumbley is now slated to go on trial in March, facing the same charges as his wife. In a surprising turn of events, Jennifer Crumbley took the stand in her own defense last week, vehemently denying any anticipation of her son's heinous actions. She maintained that her son displayed no signs of mental illness, except for the understandable anxiety about school and his future after graduation. Jennifer clarified that although she and her husband provided their son with a firearm, it was strictly limited to usage at the shooting range under the watchful eye of his father. She emphasized that her husband bore the responsibility of securely storing the weapon. As the jury delivered their verdict, Jennifer faced the front with closed eyes, while Craig Schilling, who tragically lost his son in the shooting, stoically observed the proceedings. A gentle touch on his back offered a momentary solace amidst the tense atmosphere. Jennifer, now handcuffed, bowed her head and averted her gaze as she walked past a throng of cameras. Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald sought to provide comfort to the grieving relatives, including Schilling, through heartfelt embraces. Schilling expressed his belief that the collective pleas for accountability had been acknowledged, and he anticipated that this verdict would reverberate in households nationwide. However, he acknowledged that the journey towards true accountability was far from over, and the verdict marked just one step in that arduous process. Schilling also stated, quote, "We all have work now. We all know that we are to be held responsible for anything that we do," unquote. Legal experts believe that the groundbreaking trial will have a significant impact on society's perception of parental responsibility when their children gain access to firearms and use them in mass shootings. Adam Winkler, a professor at the UCLA School of Law, emphasized this by stating, quote, "This is a case that could create real incentives for parents to be much more cautious giving their children access to firearms," unquote. In her closing arguments, Shannon Smith, the defense attorney for Jennifer Crumbley, expressed concerns about the dangerous precedent this case could set for parents who are genuinely trying their best for their children. Smith passionately stated, "I truly wish that this trial could bring justice to the victims of the shooting and the terrorism that occurred that day. However, this is not justice. It does not provide solace to those who have lost everything, nor does it undo the tragic events that unfolded on November 30th, unquote." In December, the shooter, now 17 years old, was handed a life sentence without parole after confessing to multiple charges stemming from the shooting incident. The heartbreaking event resulted in the loss of 4 young lives: Madison Baldwin, 17, Tate Meyer, 16, Hannah St. Juliana, 14, and Justin Schilling, 17. Expressing his thoughts on the verdict, Nick Suplina, the Senior Vice President for Law and Policy at Everytown for Gun Safety, emphasized the crucial role parents and gun owners play in preventing children from accessing deadly weapons without supervision. He stressed the need for responsible ownership and the prevention of such tragic incidents. Suplina further highlighted that the tragic shooting at Oxford High School in 2021 could have been averted if the Crumbleys had not allowed their 15-year-old son to possess a firearm. This decision to hold them accountable is a significant step towards ensuring justice and, more importantly, preventing future tragedies from unfolding. In the 7-day trial, the central focus was on whether Jennifer Crumbley could have anticipated her son's deadly behavior. The prosecution presented text messages from months prior to the shooting, revealing the teenager's troubling thoughts. They also referenced a journal entry where the shooter expressed his struggles with mental health. Jennifer Crumbley testified that she was unaware of these messages and the journal, and her son never sought therapy. She believed her son wouldn't harm others, as he had no history of misconduct. With their return to work, the parents made a firm commitment to arrange counseling for their son within 48 hours. Shockingly, just 2 hours later, their son fired his first shot. Jennifer Crumbley, in her testimony, revealed that they didn't bring him home as they followed the advice of school officials who believed he would be better off in the classroom with his peers rather than being alone at home. During the closing arguments, defense attorney Shannon Smith reminded the jurors that nobody, including Mrs. Crumbley, could have anticipated this tragic outcome. However, Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald urged the jurors to remember that Jennifer Crumbley herself stated she wouldn't change a single thing. McDonald emphasized the heart-wrenching fact that none of the actions required much effort, and even the smallest act could have saved the lives of Hannah, Tate, Justin, and Madison. So, in this historic trial, there are huge ramifications surrounding this verdict. On one end, making sure the responsibilities bestowed upon you as a parent should be taken seriously according to this verdict. Proper teaching, influencing, and rearing of your child matters. On the other end, being held responsible for the actions of another individual who just may not respond to your teachings is a heavy lift. But isn't the positive mentoring of your child important enough to exhaust all of your entrusted duties to ensure accepted character building despite the weight of the lift? This seemingly evokes the nature versus nurture debate. Are some individuals predisposed to certain behaviors regardless of their upbringing? Or should it be argued that through appropriate and suitable rearing, any individual can be molded into model behavior? Or maybe this argument is an example of overthinking a rather simple case in this verdict. The parents just did not perform their parenting duties properly and responsibly. This, I believe, is the sentiment of the majority. I could be wrong. I'm at the least sure this topic has varying degrees of passion on either side. Let's engage in the comment section below and discuss what the aftermath of this verdict could bring. Please like and subscribe. Be on the lookout for another video coming soon. Stay ready and be safe out there, people.